Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. I am Spike the Butcher and today we're going to be building a park in Jurassic World Evolution 2. Right, I will do my best to tell you what I'm building and why. So we're going to start off with this building here, which is the arrival point where our guests will turn up. I will be fast forwarding some bits, building paths and fences. We are playing in a sandbox, so I've got no restrictions on anything. I can build pretty much everything. Right now I'm going to build an emergency shelter. I don't have to, I've turned the settings off, so there will be no breakouts, there will be no storms, but I'm just building to show you that what you can build. You will need these scattered through the park if you are trying to build a park with restrictions. These are shops. You'll get 3 different varieties. You got one for food, one for drink, and a gift shop. And once again, if you are building a park to make money, you're going to need a lot of these. Probably best grouped together near paddocks, near the entrance, near viewing galleries, where the guests want them basically. These are arcades. You can get a lot of different ones. This is an aquarium. You can change them once you place them down. Now I'm putting a hotel down. You'll need quite a few of these for your capacity, for your guests. I'll try and put a few just scattered around. The blue ring is a viewing gallery as well, so it's always good to have them near paddocks as well. Just adds visibility. Now I'd like to say a big shout out to Pocket Moxie, who's asked me to do this video for her. We're going to have a large paddock in the middle of the park. We're going to build around it. I will be skipping, as I said, I will be skipping a lot of path building and fence building. It just takes a lot of time. So we're going to start building our first paddock. These are viewing galleries, and the blue ring is what the guests will see from the galleries. There are other ways they can see, which you'll see later on in the video. This will be a 2-part video, so look out for the second part. Now you can see why I fast forward building the fences and the paths. They are a pain. This is a response building. The helicopter, what you get with it, will tranquilize animals that try to escape or start fighting. The little jeeps will check out any status checks that need being done on the dinosaurs and refill your feeders. this building is a medic bay. The truck does status checks and finds out what your dinosaur is ill from, if it becomes poorly, and then if need be it will be transferred to the sick bay where it can get patched up. Everything has to be connected by a road. It can be annoying sometimes. Now we're going to put some hatcheries in. I'm going to put 2 in this paddock because it is pretty big. And the hatcheries are where the dinosaurs come out of once they are ready to be released. This big paddock is going to be the centre of the park. We're going to build around this. Just connect these to the paths. So this is going to be quite a large paddock, so we're going to have a viewing gallery on each side. You can put the fences in first, and then as you see I can put the viewing galleries onto the fences, or you can do it the other way around. And all these have got to be connected by the road, which I'm going to put round all the way through, around each sides. The paths and the fences are the thing that takes the longest. You have to make sure you leave enough room for shops and emergency shelters and bathrooms. I always put one near a gallery. You will find if you're building a park to make profit or make money, or actually do a park with restrictions, you're going to have bathrooms and shelters throughout the whole entire park. There is a little map in which will show you where the demand is for toilets, restroom, emergency shelters, shops, drinks, transport. You can modify all the goods that each shop sells. So always put a bundle of them next to a viewing gallery. And transport around the park. We'll put a monorail in. And then I put a monorail around near the entrance to the park, and then I build one normally around or on top of each viewing gallery, so when they do get off, when the guests get off the monorail, there are shops there, there are toilets, there's emergency shelters, and then there's the viewing gallery right next to them. If you don't have good transport around your park, your guests aren't going to walk miles, and yeah, they'll end up asking for their money back. You'll lose money, and most of your park they won't actually get to see. So means of transport around the park is important. And plus the monorail, when you're actually riding it, is actually a viewing gallery as well. So you could have it even going through the paddock as well. You can go with buildings, fences with the track. So that goes almost all the way around. We'll join that up later. We'll make sure we put roads connecting to each monorail. Yeah, in a sandbox you can make everything your own. You can decide how the dinosaurs act, if they can get along with each other, if they starve, if you don't have to feed them, the comforts. But yeah, hotels are important. More hotels, more guests, more money. And plus there is a viewing gallery on top, so it's always a good idea to put them near paddocks as well. There's more visibility for your guests. Happy guests mean more money coming in. Unhappy guests, you will lose money extremely quickly. I've done it. So this is going to be the centre of the park. I'm just going to put some forest around the edging just to start making it look nice and less of a plain scenery. Just speed this up because this can take a while as well. Lovely. Right, I'll start getting some dinosaurs ready to be released. Now I'm also in the sandbox. I've turned off any research. I've also turned off any expeditions, because normally you'd have to send out expedition teams to dig up the fossils, then you'd have to put them into the research centre to get the DNA out of the fossil, and then make sure you've got enough DNA from each animal to actually create one. It can be very time consuming, so I've switched all that off, so I have all the dinosaurs I can build straight away. And this middle paddock's going to be just herbivores. As I said, the sandbox settings are great. You can change absolutely everything to how you want to play. And there are a few new species, as I said, especially the lagoons. The lagoons are really good. And the aviaries. Put a few gates in for your ranger teams if they need to get in to refill the feeders or check on your dinosaurs. Now every dinosaur has a need. Every dinosaur needs water. In a big paddock like this, I prefer having a big lake in the middle. Each dinosaur have their own preference for food. A lot of the herbivores will eat ground fibre, ground nut, ground leaf, tall leaf, ground nut, fruit. But in this case I've turned dinosaurs don't starve on, so I'm only putting it down just to make it kind of look pretty. is the right balance. If you're playing with on, it is the right balance of trying to get it mixed of what they do need, what they don't need. Some dinosaurs like a big open space, so that would be no forest, no ground food. Like the Gallimimuses, they like big open space to run. So if you're having more than one species in each enclosure, it is a hard balance to get right. But so this one I've turned it off, so it is just to make it look nice. There's a bit in there for each dinosaur. That's looking pretty good. Right, so these are ready to start incubating the eggs. I've also put on egg incubation fail off, so I will get the maximum eggs out of each dinosaur. So it says there's 2. Sometimes you can have eggs fail, so you might only get 1. This is a new addition to Jurassic World 2. It's a viewing gallery from inside the enclosure, connected to the fence like a normal gallery, but there's a tunnel where the guests can go down in and pop up into the little dome. They are pretty cool. This enclosure is almost finished, just got to connect these roads. Yeah, I think that paddock's pretty much ready. So let's start on the lagoon. These are really cool. You can either have little ones or you can connect them all and make a big lagoon. This is definitely my favourite new addition. Want some viewing galleries, and the viewing galleries on these are pretty cool as well, because you can sit on a stand and then you can lower the stand so you'd be looking underneath the water as well. And each one of those little triangle shapes you see around the lagoon is you can place something there, being a viewing gallery, the hatchery, or the feeders. You can also put on there like decorations like shrubs, bushes, trees, water fountains. You can also bend the paths. You can do quite a lot. This is a shark feeder and some fish feeders. So let's get some marine reptiles ready for release. A couple of my favourite ones. Let's stick a monorail right there as well, so the guests can get there easier. And obviously you're gonna have to pick shops and restrooms, emergency shelters. Looks like my dinosaurs in the hatchery are ready to come out. We'll release them in a minute. Just connect this all up. There's your emergency shelter and your bathroom, the hotel, which has viewing points as well, just said earlier. Some spas in. Get them incubating. It's got 5 of them. I think a few more arcades or VR centre. Excuse me. And we'll have a science centre as well. I think that should do it for now. I may put another viewing gallery on the other side of the lagoon. As you see, I can change the circle, which is the size of how much you put down at once or take away. Yeah, I'll put another viewing gallery on the other side. Connect that up. I think we might release those dinosaurs. That's looking good. Connect that monorail up in a minute. So the lagoon is looking good. Let's sort the monorail out, connect that so it's a complete circuit all the way around the park. And see, if you get it right, some of the legs of the rail come off so it can actually go over buildings. I think we should release some of the first dinosaurs into the park. We're almost ready. Actually, we'll stick a gyrosphere in. These are pretty cool. And I've just stuck that round the wrong way. Now, when building gyrospheres or park tours, you can go from paddock to paddock, or you can just keep it to one paddock. I prefer keeping it to one paddock. I have built parks previously where it's gone from paddock to paddock. You get these awesome gates that you can put between paddocks, but you need a lot of space to work with. Looking really good. Yeah, let's release some dinosaurs.
Some of these animals present a real test of our abilities. Take, for instance, this latest dinosaur, the Gallimimus. It's an opportunistic omnivore that does best in groups. That alone isn't the problem, but the speed. Gallimimus is incredibly fast, which presents special challenges for the ranger teams tasked with monitoring them.
I have to admit, the detail in this game is really good. I believe these are new species from the first game.
The Camarasaurus impresses with both its size and its blunt snout. It prefers to live in groups. A challenge, but one I'm confident you can handle.
So let's release the next lot. Triceratops.
What can be said about the Triceratops? This is one of those dinosaurs that really defines our business. People want to see them, and we want to share them with the world. Don't let that fearsome appearance fool you. Those horns are mostly for defense and impressing other Triceratops. This animal is an herbivore. It can be a star attraction or a security nightmare if it turns those horns on our fencing.
The iconic Brachiosaurus. Yeah, if you look at the detail, it's really good. Nice for that paddock's full. 4 species in there. Let's release the first lot of water dinosaurs.
discovering that I find to be most interesting. Take this animal, the Liopleurodon, for instance. This is a carnivorous marine reptile that is optimized for efficiency, both for swimming effortlessly through the water and for relentlessly hunting its prey. And what nature created, we can recreate. And maybe, if I can be so bold, improve upon. Or at least find ways to exploit.
Right, so we want to think about the next paddock. Have a look at the views through the different domes. You can change different camera angles. Zoom in and out. You can actually ride the gyrospheres as well. So let's make a new paddock. Some carnivores out. Just about do. I said you want to make sure you've got enough space behind the viewing gallery for, once again, like shops, bathrooms, emergency shelters. Now I'm putting stronger walls up just to show you that you get a few different types of fences. Each number is a security number. So this one's 5. This is the strongest fence you can get, because I'm going to put some strong dinosaurs in here. I'm only going to put 2 species in this one. And my other marine reptile is ready to release. Just let him out.
So when people come to the park, they want to learn something, sure, but they also want to be entertained. And this marine reptile, the Mosasaurus, is just that, a showstopper. If the T-Rex is the ruler of the dinosaurs on land, then the Mosasaurus holds that title below the waves. Make sure this animal is a premium attraction.
He is a beast. I kept following him just so I can get this little bit of footage just coming up for you. Now, as I said about the stands, I'll show you that you can quickly go down.
Beneath the surface of the water, deep in the depths of prehistory, lie magnificent marine marvels. Ladies and
You can get
gentlemen,
decorations
prepare to
or
be amazed.
things to put at the bottom of the lagoon, like sunken shipwrecks and big boulders, rocks. Speed all this up. Okay, right, Right, so we're gonna go for something mean. Is the Indominus Rex, and the Indominus Rex likes raptors, being part raptor. So we'll have a bunch of them in there with him. This is another new addition, just like the dome, with the tunnel going out to the fence. This is it looks like a big lock basically, but with glass down the side so you can view the dinosaurs from inside the paddock. As you see, there's red on the paths. That's high demand for bathrooms and shelters. I'll just clear that up by putting a shelter and a bathroom there. Speed this up a bit. You do get different size shops. You can get small, medium or large, depending on the need. You can have different size around where the guests aren't going to be there a lot of the time. You can have just the small ones. The larger ones are more for near big paddocks. So yeah, so let's start getting some forest around the sides, and then yeah, just get this paddock finished, so when the time's right we can release the dinosaurs in. The Indominus Rex likes a lot of cover. So do the raptors. Add some water and some feeders. They both like live prey, so we put a couple of live feeders in. Some goats. Some carnivores like just the meat. They're normally the scavengers. You can put them with bigger dinosaurs like the Tyrannosaurus. They don't mind being with scavengers, but they will need different feeders. But for now, that will be the end of the video, end of part 1, and I will get part 2 up hopefully later on today or tomorrow. So stay tuned, and thank you for your time, and we'll see you on the next video.